What's up, marketers? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Sydney. I'm a Facebook ads expert on Vertex Marketing Agency, where we talk about all things Facebook ads. And today I want to talk to you about Facebook ad audience targeting. I know that post iOS 14 and going into 2022, you might be really confused on which audiences you should be testing out. Here's a little secret. It's a lot simpler than you think, and there's actually something else that you should be focusing a little bit more on, which is creatives. But I want to talk to you about the 3 audiences that we're testing out in 2022 and using consistently with our clients' ad accounts every single day, day in, day out. So I'm gonna run you through those 3 different audiences. Before we get started, if you do find any value in this video, if you learned something new, please do hit that thumbs up button. It really helps creators like us get this message out to more and more people so they can facilitate their Facebook ad journey. And let me know in the comments which of these 3 audiences that you're gonna be testing out next. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So I've opened up a demo ad account. I'm in the ad set section. I've just created a demo conversion campaign. So let's start with the first audience that I would recommend that you test out. So if you have a product that virtually anybody can buy, let's say, for example, you sell this machine that gets rid of mosquitoes. Majority of the places in the world are gonna have mosquitoes, right? So anyone can use that product. Let's say you have a light or you have a water bottle. Virtually anyone can use that type of product, right? So think, does my product tailor to anyone? Obviously you can't have an ideal customer, but could virtually anyone buy this product? If you answer yes to this question, that anyone can buy your product, this is the first audience that I would recommend that you test out. And it's just completely broad. Now, believe it or not, this is actually the #1 audience we're seeing the most success with our Facebook ads. Here's a few screenshots where we tried out a few different options for targeting, but where we seem to get the best results is from the completely broad targeting. And I think the reason for that is just because Facebook can find those people better and deliver the ads to those people without any restrictions of, they've excluded these people or they're including these people. Facebook can really just do its job as the ad platform and deliver it to the people who are most likely to convert. So if you're not testing out a broad audience right now, I would highly, highly recommend that you do try it out. So choose the country in which you would like to promote your product. Set that country. If you have, for example, in the United States, if you wanted to exclude Alaska because it costs too much to ship there, you can do that. But just choose a country you want to promote your product in. Keep the age range pretty open unless you are selling products that are over 21 or, that kind of thing. So make sure you set the age properly, but leave it completely broad if you can. Target all genders if you can, unless your product is only for females or only for males. And don't add any detailed targeting. I'm saying just keep it completely open. Now, what this does by just keeping it completely broad is letting Facebook deliver your ads to the people who are most likely to convert. I find nowadays, if you add a few too many restraints to your targeting, Facebook has a hard time finding who that person might be because of the lack of tracking and lack of data that we're getting because of iOS 14 and just the way the, sort of technical tracking landscape is these days. So my first audience that I would recommend you test out is completely broad with no interest, no custom audiences, nothing. Just put your location in and create really good ads. Okay, so we're gonna get into the most important part of your Facebook ad campaign a little bit after, but I first want to talk about the audiences. So what's the second audience? If you have a product that a very specific demographic can buy or purchase because of some restraints. So for example, let's say you have an accessory for an acoustic guitar, okay? Now, technically anyone could buy that, but really what's really important here is that the person that you're selling to or showing your ads to actually has an acoustic guitar, right? Because you don't want to be showing that to someone who is absolutely not interested in a guitar. Unless you were selling a guitar, then anyone could buy that. But an accessory for a guitar, pretty much people who have a guitar are going to be the ones who buy it. There are some products that only tailor to very specific people. So in this situation, if you have a product that is very specific to a niche group, then what I would recommend that you do is use stacked interest targeting. So in the past, typically people would recommend that you use one interest for one ad set and test out 5 different interests and see which one of them performs the best. Now again, with the lack of data and tracking these days, it's really hard for Facebook to find that person based on the behaviors or the things that they're interested online. So what I would recommend that you do is use stacked interest targeting. So let's say, for example, you sell the accessory for a guitar. What I want to think about here is what would my user be doing online that would show that they're interested in this accessory, right? Depending on what it is. So what I might target here is acoustic guitar, guitar, maybe even bass guitar, or guitar, electric guitar. So I'm gonna put in multiple different interests so that Facebook has the best chance of finding the people who are going to be interested in your product. So giving Facebook lots of different options to make the audience as big as possible is going to give you the best results possible. Facebook continues to tell you that the best way for you to get results is to consolidate your ad sets or to make your ad sets bigger, because it can find more people that are most likely to convert. So my second audience that I would recommend you test out is stacked interest targeting, especially for people who have a product that is a little bit more niche specific. So the third audience that I would recommend that you test out is super lookalikes. My results testing this out with some of our clients for a stacked lookalike is sort of iffy. It really depends on the client and the thing that they're offering and how good their customer assets are, like their customer list or their email list and those kind of things. But nonetheless, it is definitely an audience that I would recommend that you test out to see if it works for your client or for your own business. So what you're going to want to do for that, I'm actually going to remove all of these interests over here, because we don't want to influence the test that we're making, right? So what I'm going to do here is scroll down to the section for my custom audiences, and I'm going to create a new custom audience. Now, for a super lookalike, essentially what we're doing is taking a couple different sources and adding them together and then creating a lookalike audience. So some sources that I would recommend that you have from here are things that are a little bit further down in the funnel, like add to carts or purchases. So what I would recommend that you do is go to the website source and create a custom audience based on your purchasers. So we're not going to create a custom audience based on all website visitors. We're going to go to purchase. And I would recommend backing that up as far as possible. So for here, it is 180 days. And I'm going to name that Pixel Purchase 180 days. Okay, and then I'm going to create that audience and make sure that you're choosing the right source that is coming from, of course. Now, once you have your custom audience created, go ahead and create a lookalike audience. Now, if I'm doing a stacked lookalike audience, we're going to be adding a few of them together. So I recommend choosing a smaller lookalike. The larger that you go, the bigger this number gets, and the more the further away that person becomes from your actual ideal customer. So I recommend a 1% to 2% audience, lookalike audience, and just creating that from there, and make sure that you do choose the country that it's going to be in. So 2% lookalike of my website purchasers. Another lookalike I would recommend putting in here is uploading a customer list and then creating 1 to 2% lookalike. But make sure that if you're adding a few together, that it's the same lookalike so you can test out the differences. So upload your customer list. And then finally, I would also even add your add to carts as a lookalike. So go and create a custom audience based on the people who have added to cart in the last 180 days and add that to your stacked lookalike audience. So then they're going to appear here. And what Facebook is also going to automatically do is exclude these people who have already visited your website, which is great because that shows that they're excluding the right people. So you can keep that setting the same. So as you add to carts or your customer list, it's also going to exclude these people as well, which is great. And then with that super lookalike, I would keep those other elements of your targeting completely open, just making sure that you do target the right country, the right age group, and the right genders, so that Facebook can go in there and find people who are most likely to convert. And those are essentially the audience that I would recommend that you test out. Now, here's a little bonus tip. We really don't go any further from these 3 audiences to test out for our clients or for our advertising. And the reason for that is because iOS 14 and, the lack of data, lack of tracking that came along with it has really limited our ability to find that person, or like for Facebook to get the data on that person. So what I would highly recommend that you focus on is your Facebook ad creative, trying out different angles, trying out different creatives, different formats, different, ways of presenting it, different types of people, and really creating a great ad that tailors to lots of different people rather than really fixating on the targeting and who you should target. That's really what it is about these days. I really want you guys to have success, and really what's going to make or break your success is going to be your Facebook ad creatives. Now, I do have a couple videos that I'll link in the description, as well as up here somewhere. For example, 5 Facebook ad creatives that convert, how to create a Facebook ad that converts. Those type of videos are going to be really crucial. And once you have an audience that is working well for you, like your stacked interest or your broad audiences or your super lookalike, really just dive deep on your Facebook ad creatives, and that's really what's going to amplify your results or really show you those really great results. Because if you think about it, Facebook is an auction system, and if you don't have the best ad or the best, product, you're not going to be winning that auction. So just keep that in mind. Audiences are really important, but going into 2022, what's going to be really even more important is going to be your Facebook ad creative. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found a little bit of value from that. Let me know in the comments, did you learn anything new? Like, were you targeting any audiences in particular and found that going into 2022 that it was a little bit harder to target, or that you aren't seeing as great results? Are you using broad targeting? Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below and some feedback about this video and what you're doing, so that I can learn from it and we can all just chat about it together. So again, my name is Sydney. Thank you guys for watching today. If you have any more questions or you want to start a conversation with us, you should join our Coffee and Marketing Forum, where it's a platform made by marketers for marketers, and we just grab a coffee, talk about marketing, and I'd be happy to talk to you guys there if you have any more questions. We will be shutting down our Facebook group called All Things Facebook Ads, and sort of reverting to our new forum called Coffee and Marketing. So I do hope to see all of you guys there. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in next week's video.